Enugu State is said to become a major hub for tractor manufacturing in Nigeria, as the government has announced plans to assemble 1,000 tractors locally by 2025. This initiative is part of the government's broader vision to transform the state economy and ensure food security. In a significant step towards achieving this goal, the state government has partnered with a Danish company to begin tractor assembly. The initial phase of the project will see over 300 tractors produced by the end of 2024. Essentially, the availability of locally produced tractors will have a profound impact on Enugu's agricultural sectors. Farmers will no longer need to rely on imported machinery, reducing costs and improving efficiency. Also, more tractors will be available for lease or hire, reducing waiting time which have been affecting large-scale farming operations. Furthermore, the government of Enugu State has emphasized the importance of value addition in the agricultural sector. The state is developing a special agro-processing zone to facilitate the processing of agricultural products, ensuring that Enugu State benefits from the full value chain. The government stated that the plan goes beyond just producing and exporting food raw. Instead, with local processing to add value, farmers will create and capture those values. Meanwhile, to support the growth of the agricultural sector, the state government says it is investing heavily in infrastructure. This project will include road construction, improving power supply, and providing access to water. Additionally, the government is working to enhance security in the state to create a conducive environment for businesses and farmers. This is as the government reiterates its commitment to creating a business-friendly environment and attracting investors. To achieve this dream, the government of Enugu State recently flagged off the construction of Nortra Tractors Assembly Plant and Service Center, an investment by ODK Group of Denmark in Enugu City. On this same day, the government also commissioned a new Watson Doors industry established by a Chinese firm at Nachi, Enugu State. Flagging off the construction of the Nortra Tractors Plant and Service Center, the government noted that it was a significant step to its administration's vision to grow the state economy from $4.4 billion to $30 billion. In the governor's words, he noted that what we have gathered here today is not a mere symbolic act. It is certainly an act that takes us closer to the dream of having at least 1,000 tractors in Enugu State by next year. Enugu State government also has said that it is ready for business and they are open for business. And in the governor's words, he noted that you could not make a better choice than Enugu when you are thinking about where to invest or where to grow your wealth, because you are dealing with a government that is business friendly. And we do not only think about creating the environment for business to thrive, we are also interested in working with you collaboratively, either as a joint venture or private-public sector partnerships, or even helping you to de-risk the investment flow. We are interested in listening to you, knowing what areas that would make it possible for you to invest. The government also noted that they are taking measures to ensure the availability of necessary infrastructure ranging from urban roads to access roads to farm, power and water, while also making huge investments in security and collaborating with security agencies to sustain and strengthen the relative security attained by the state in the last 15 months. Over the past few years, the new state government of Enugu State has implemented a series of initiatives focused on revitalizing the agricultural sector. On the most notable effort occurred recently, September 13th, with the official launch of the Enugu United Palm Product Limited Revitalization Project. This project, a 100 billion naira investment in partnership with Pragmatic Palms Limited, aims to boost the agricultural output of the state by creating 3,500 jobs, reviving 20,000 hectares of palm plantation, and establishing oil mills and refining capacities. The government has also described the project as more than a business revival, positioning it as a key step in enhancing the state's agricultural infrastructure and economy. The government of Enugu State has also framed the initiative as part of a broader strategy to stimulate agricultural innovation and economic growth in Enugu State. The project is expected to improve both production and processing capacities in the state, contributing to local employment and overall development of the agricultural sector. Earlier this year, the government of Enugu State announced the distribution of about 4.6 billion naira worth of agricultural input and MSME grants to farmers, communities, and IT startups across Enugu State, aimed at supporting food security, agro-industrialization, and small businesses. The initiative involved providing 12,000 farmers with fertilizers, distributing 51 power tillers, and supplying various agricultural input to 1,251 beneficiaries in all the 17 local governments of Enugu State. Beside coal, Enugu State was noted for rice cultivation with communities such as Ubauka and Adani, respectively attaining fame that drew thousands from distant locations to their weekly market. It was the prevalence that gave rise to the establishment of Ada Rice, which enriched families and state coffers in its heydays. But rice cultivation would eventually experience the fate suffered by virtually every vital crop as oil began its ascending climb. In a blip, the acorn days of rice cultivations were over. Vast tracts of farmlands that once bore rice paddies laid abandoned as farming increasingly seemed like a half-hearted pastime. Worse still, the fortune of the once flourishing Ada Rice experienced a swift plunge down the cliff, thus becoming another victim of Nigeria's oil boom years. The end of the boom, however, brought a rude awakening as it soon emerged that the earnings from the commodity sales were barely sufficient to run the affairs of the state across federation. It was a downing reality aptly captured by the Enugu state government at some point in time. Since 2015, the revenue accruing to the state from federation's account has been on decline, and the need to increase state internally generated revenue cannot be overemphasized. The state is therefore working hard to grow its internally generated revenue up to 50% of its total revenue. To be candid, looking inwards means reviving those economic activities which the petrodollar had pushed to the background. There is no doubt that Enugu State and Nigeria at large is blessed with a sizable portion of arable land and a favorable weather condition which is suitable for around-the-year farming. Despite having these natural advantages, which are capable of making us a major exporter of raw and finished farm produce. On the contrary, we spend heavily every year on importation of agricultural produce, both raw and finished products. From the aforementioned, we can see that the agricultural industry, which is the highest employer of labor in Nigeria, is unable to meet up with the growing demand of all forms of agricultural produce in Nigeria. As a result, the country is forced to engage in unfavorable economic practices like importation of food items and other agricultural products which could have been cultivated in Nigeria. Up until now, a lot of small and medium-scale farmers are heavily involved in the utilization of farm laborers for planting and harvesting of their farmlands, with the continuous use of hoes, cutlass, and other simple tools for commercial farming. Not only will this reduce profit from this multi-billion-dollar industry, but might also get to a point where it will become difficult to have a 3-square meal simply because the food items in circulation are continuously in low supply. To solve this challenge, the only answer is to intensify the use of mechanized farm equipment on our farmlands, which is why the Enugu state government is investing heavily in the production of tractors in order to scale up the production of agricultural produce. Considering the fact that the agricultural industry directly affects so many industries, the benefit of intensifying mechanized farming will not be felt by the farmers and tractor owners alone. As a matter of fact, the nation has more to benefit from improved farming methods than the farmers. Therefore, with this initiative that has been bettered by the Enugu state government, it is no doubt that it is a step in the right direction, as this will scale up farming and also increase productivity, whilst creating jobs and opportunities and increasing the internally generated revenue of the state. Guys, do well to drop your honest comment, tell us what you think. Don't forget to subscribe and share. Thank you.